Why forgiveness is important. The tavern was in Vienna, tucked just off a quiet square where old buildings stood shoulder to shoulder, holding centuries of stories in their stone. Outside the night was crisp, inside the warmth was patient. Candles glowed low along the walls. The fire had settled into a steady, comforting rhythm. I was setting down a teapot when the traveler arrived. He moved carefully, as if every step required deliberation. His face carried the kind of exhaustion that doesn't come from lack of sleep, but from carrying something long unresolved. "You don't look lost," I said. "You look tired." He gave a faint, humorless smile and sat. Alex acknowledged him quietly from the corner, offering presence without pressure. "I don't think I can forgive her," the traveler said after a long pause, "and everyone keeps telling me I should." "That's usually how forgiveness is introduced," I said gently, "as a command instead of an invitation." He frowned. "It feels unfair, like I'm being asked to let her off the hook." I leaned back slightly. "Then let me say this clearly. Forgiveness is not about excusing what happened, and it is not about making peace with someone who hurt you." He looked up, cautious but listening. "Forgiveness," I continued, "is about deciding that the wound will no longer be in charge of your life." The fire popped softly between us. "I don't know how to do that," he admitted. "The anger feels like the only thing that proves it mattered." "You see, my friend, anger does prove it mattered. But anger is meant to be a messenger, not a landlord." He let out a quiet breath. "When someone hurts you," I continued, "your mind clings to the pain because it believes remembering will protect you. But over time, that memory stops guarding the door and starts pacing the house." Alex nodded subtly, eyes lowered to his cup. "Forgiveness," I said, "isn't forgetting. It's remembering without reopening the wound every time." The traveler rubbed his hands together slowly. "What if forgiving means she wins?" "She doesn't," I replied. "She only wins if she gets to live rent-free in your thoughts long after she's left your life." "Most people think forgiveness is something you give to another person," I said. "That's why it feels impossible." He listened closely now. "But real forgiveness," I continued, "is something you give yourself. Permission to stop reliving the injury. Permission to stop explaining it to an empty room." The tavern was quiet enough to hear the candle wicks whisper. "You don't forgive because she deserves peace," I said softly. "You forgive because you do." His eyes softened through the pain. "So I don't have to talk to her again?" he said. "No," I answered firmly. "Forgiveness does not require reunion. Some bridges are burned for a reason." "Forgiveness doesn't erase boundaries," I said. "It strengthens them. It allows you to say, 'This hurt me, and I am choosing not to carry it forever.'" The traveler leaned back. shoulders lowering for the first time. I thought holding onto it meant I was strong, he said. Strength, I replied, is choosing not to bleed every time you remember. Alex spoke quietly from the corner. Letting go doesn't mean it didn't matter. It means she doesn't own you anymore. The traveler nodded slowly, absorbing the truth in layers. If you're listening and struggling with forgiveness, you don't have to rush it. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to reconcile. Forgiveness can be silent, private, internal, and sometimes it's simply the decision to stop reopening a door that only leads back to pain. The traveler sat quietly, watching the candlelight tremble against the walls. The anger was still there, but it had softened, no longer clenched like a fist. Outside, Vienna rested beneath the night, elegant and unhurried. A carriage passed somewhere in the distance, its sound fading without urgency. Alex gathered his coat, offering a final, understanding nod before slipping out into the cold. You don't have to forgive tonight, I said to the traveler, but you can rest, and sometimes rest is the first act of mercy you give to yourself. He stood, steadier now, leaving not with answers, but with permission. The tavern held its warmth long after the door closed, unchanged, unexpecting, and kind. My friend, the lanterns will remain lit, and the fire will be warm, even when the door closes behind you. Return whenever the road feels heavy, or when your heart seeks quiet company. Carry what serves you, leave the rest by the hearth, and know that this place and these words will wait patiently for you. Until then, travel gently, my friend, and let the night watch over you. Hello, my friends. Editing Lion here. Well, I know I say this a lot, and I've said it several times now. This one hit really, really deep. It was hard to make, it was hard to script, and it hit really close to home. I struggle with this one at times. I have in the past, the recent past. Not so much in the further past, but the recent one. Forgiveness is well, it's an art, I think, of sorts. Now, I come from a family background that there were wars that were waged over decades among family members and long held grudges and grievances and such. And yeah, we do the best we can, but we're only human at the end of every day. I think that if you were to walk with forgiveness in your heart and extend peace towards people instead of war on a grander scale, this would be a much more what would the word be? We would all get along better, that's for sure. There wouldn't be strife and chaos and discontent in the world. It would be more civilized, I think. However, that is a work of fiction on a higher scale than I could ever conceive. I will say this: I am learning new things every day, and one of them is to forgive on a deeper level, and the forgiveness of self, because we often carry our own wounds that we should forgive forgive ourselves for. Gosh, I'm not feeling the blooper reel today. Anyway, take care of yourselves, my friends. Be well, and thank you for listening to another video, or watching another video, I should say. Tavern doors are always open to you. Come when you can. We will have a grand time, I promise you that. But until then, take care.